Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Ignite News. I'm Kayla Perna. A large group of protesters at Gage Park are demanding government inquiry into murdered and missing Aboriginal women. Elizabeth Chernachenko has the story.
Protesters rallied and stopped traffic near Gage Park in downtown Hamilton. Close to 60 people came to support in bitterly cold temperatures. With roughly 1,800 missing or murdered Aboriginal women, protesters say it's time for a national inquiry.
I'd like to see an inquiry. I'd like to see an end to all of these protests in the future. And it can be very simple. You just have an inquiry, fully funded federally.
As a father to a daughter, I want my daughter to realize that Aboriginal women are special and should be treated with respect.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Liz Chernachenko.
MoCast is a series that highlights some of the great things and great people here at Mohawk. Let's see what hosts Elaine Morris and Dyson Wells are up to this week.
Hello Mohawk, and welcome to this week's MoCast, where not only do I get to go on a tour with Hamilton's mayor, but I also get to use a welding simulator.
And I talked to Alex Paris about Black History Month.
So today I'm here with Sam Rahman, the welding program coordinator at the Stony Creek Mohawk campus, and we're going to be talking about the welding simulator. Sam, what can you tell me about the simulator?
Well, in today's video-centric era, where everybody's hooked on to the video programs and technology, they have come up with virtual reality welding system. The preparation for the weld take enormous time, and material is wasted if the students are practicing and they are wasting, instead of doing. So this gives them a very good idea. As students, they just love it. So, yeah, and especially the one that just starting, right? So.
Well, speaking of which, I know that I wanted to figure out how to use it right when I got in here, and I heard that one of your students is willing to show me how.
Yes, we got David Mencia. He's used this machine, and he's ready to show you. So, David, can you come and do a little bit of demonstration on how this machine works?
So, David, you're going to show me how to use the welding simulator?
Sure.
That sounds great.
There we go. So, pretty much, again, you're going to want to get comfortable, and you might want to prop an arm on something, and then here, maybe I can move this, because you're going to try to get into this groove here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so I should...
Oh yeah, maybe that would be easier for you. So,
do we start on the far side, or...?
Yeah, you're going to want to travel.
To this, but you don't weld like this,
Okay, so...
So, no. So make it...
Yeah, you really got to lift up, yeah.
Okay.
Like this, right?
Drop the
And
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's a pretty good beat, actually.
beat with one hand.
Yeah, one-handed. That takes some technique, the one-handed.
You have to be really steady with your speed.
Yeah, you have to go really... Actually, you can go fast, but it depends on the groove. For this particular groove, I think you need to go a little bit slower. That's not too bad.
On the screen.
That's not too bad. I'll clean it up for you. Yeah. Even our welding instructor's impressed, so I think you might have a career in welding.
Gonna have to let Mohawk know.
Yeah.
So we're here with Alex Paris. Alex, why are we here today?
Well, it's, as you know, it's Black History Month, when Mohawk College is trying to be as involved as we can. Today we had a display from the Ontario Black History Society, and essentially what it is, it's a historical view of some historical events that have happened specifically in Ontario. We're really hoping to be able to provide information on Black history as it applies to Canada.
Now, that's one event. What else have we done throughout the entire month?
Well, today we've had, through the MSA, they were very supportive. We had some of the individuals doing sort of a Plinko game. Within the game, there were some questions, again, that were specific to Black history, and if you were able to get the questions right, there was a prize that you could win. We also have some, again, through the MSA, we have African musicians that will be coming in at the end of February to do some displays and instruction instructional sessions on how to use the specific drums as well.
Now, why is it important that students engage in the activities for this month?
Well, again, what our goal is here at the college was to hopefully engage the students, educate them on the fact that Canada has a very rich black history. We're not very well versed in that. So our goal as we move forward from this event moving into next year, again, to really be able to help educate the students, Mohawk College as a community in Hamilton, on the fact that we have a very rich black history here in Canada.
Okay. Now, we have the events between the years, though. What is your goal moving forward from this month?
Well, ideally we'd like to grow. That's as the chair of the committee, my goal is to hopefully be able to grow the event. Today, because of all the other activities that happen on campus, we are sort of focusing on one day. We really want to be able to move forward from year to year and grow the event so that we're going to try to get to a full week of activities, guest speakers. We really want to tap into our alumni individuals from the black community who've graduated from Mohawk, who have gone on to do great and wonderful things in our community, as well as tying into specific guest speakers as well.
Okay. So for the people that might not know, what part did you take in the activities this month?
I just helped organize it. It was all student run, so we had some students from the MSA, some athletes who were involved. They ran and sort of were here the whole time. I'm sort of in the back scene of everything, trying to organize. I let hopefully, and as we move forward, again, that's kind of our goal, to be student driven.
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
Take care.
On today's episode of MoCast, I have the honor of talking with Mayor Fred Eisenberger about his experiences at Mohawk College. So, Mr. Mayor, what did you think about the tour that you took today?
Well, Mohawk has come such a long way. So from my time here in the early 70s to now, I mean, it's a world apart. Applied sciences was the mainstay back then, and it's certainly becoming even more so the mainstay here. So we got an opportunity to see some 3D printing and some new technology around the energy grid, all spectacular, future, leading edge new technologies that are going to be kind of leading our world in the future. So that's exactly where Mohawk needs to be, and I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
And when did you graduate when you were at Mohawk College?
Well, it was 1982. I actually came here twice. Once was a misspent adventure. The second time actually worked out well, and that was 1982. So that was my kind of urban planning graduation at that point. But even since, you know what, this college has just come such a long way. Over the last 10 years, the transformation has been absolutely dramatic.
And I got to ask, how were your grades when you came here?
They were excellent, actually. So I was honors. Thank you very much. Although I'm not a 90%er, I was certainly an 80%er. So it was good. Although you know what, a lot of my nieces and nephews are all in the 90s. I don't know how that works. I was never up to that kind of standard, but I was also busy having fun, which is kind of part of the college experience. So maybe I spent a little too much time to get into the 90 category, but I was pretty pleased with my marks.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for being with us here today. We're good? Hello, Mohawk, and welcome to this week's MoCast, where I don't remember what I did. Welding simulator. Hello, Mohawk, and welcome to this week's MoCast, where I get to use a welding simulator.
Forgot what I was going to be doing.
Today we're here at City Hall to celebrate Mohawk Day at City Hall. In the alumni office, we have Alumni at Work coffee breaks, and what we do is we work with businesses and corporations in the community who hire a number of our grads, and we go out, and it's an opportunity for us to bring them a little snack, some beverages, but also an opportunity to reconnect, share what's going on at Mohawk, and share what's happening with the Alumni Association and what services and benefits are available.
I'm doing my co-op term here, and I'm gonna working for City Hall building department for 1 year in total. Yeah, I mean, I'm a great honor to be here, and you know, as an international student.
What do I think of today?
Yeah, how is it?
I think it's great. I love that you guys are doing this for us. I mean, it's an opportunity for us to get to talk to other people who graduated from the college. Yeah, it's a good experience. I was still a student at Mohawk College, and a week after I finished schooling, I was hired here at the City of Hamilton.
What program were you in?
I was in the Urban Regional Planning.
define ourselves by the things we do each day. That dull, dependable question, what do you do, which is supposed to sum us up. But what else are we, aside from the routines that make up the moments between waking and sleeping? The small moments that add up to become our lives. They're often overlooked, but we know deep down that small moments carry weight. Some heroes are born with incredible skills, but we earned our uniforms. We know what we want, and we go for it. We may not have X-ray vision, but we can see grace in the everyday. That's the difference. We work every day to become heroes, because greatness is in the doing. By treating every moment with diligence, we create our legacy. Like any hero, it's about applying those skills. It's about taking an extraordinary education and applying it to the ordinary, surpassing it. We know that all moments require disciplined dedication so that we can rise, like any hero, to the great moments the small ones have prepared us for. So we can meet the extraordinary, create the extraordinary, become extraordinary. And these moments, the great ones and small ones, that we ourselves define, shape an extraordinary community wherever we're needed.
Steven Sobot has your weekly game review.
One game I picked up a while ago which had an interesting plot and art design was Lucius, a third-person assassination / stealth / puzzle game developed by Shiver Games. You play as the son of the devil, murdering unsuspecting servants and workers around your family's estate. Basically, it's The Omen, the game. But recently a sequel came out, Lucius 2: The Prophecy. I thought this game would be a great follow-up to the first game. I was wrong. The game begins with Lucius being admitted to the Benedict Memorial Hospital psychiatric ward. After his family's house got burned down, the investigator from the first game, MacGuffin, brings him in for medical help. He later realizes the murders that occurred in the previous game weren't done by his father, but Lucius himself. Lucifer coaxes MacGuffin, very easily mind you, to help Lucius fulfill his prophecy. Whoa, there's the name. Good one, developers. Good one. After you attack a nun, you are sent in for shock therapy where you unleash your powers on your unsuspecting victim. Oh, God, what? Jeez, that's awful. Go away, go. No, whoa. That's brutal. The game is set in the mental institute. You travel around using your demonic powers along the way. You solve puzzles, aka killing people, using the items and set pieces in your surroundings. Lucius 1 wasn't the greatest game, but it had a unique premise games tried to avoid, playing as the ultimate evil. Even in a game like Hitman Absolution, where you play as a cold-blooded clone created specifically to kill, your targets are somehow worse humans than you are. But in Lucius, you're literally evil. The art style was very Victorian, and many of the scenes in the game had a sepia tone to it. Lucius 2 still keeps the premise, but changes the art style completely, going for more streamlined visuals. The bleakly lit and ominous manor has been replaced with the mental institute. The cutscenes move from live action to stylized animation. The font has been changed from Times New Roman to Arial. I really like the art direction of the first game, if you can't tell. I don't know why they changed it. Secondly, the story does not seem present. The narrator, MacGuffin, pretty much explains all you need to know in the introduction. From there on, MacGuffin makes such enlightening remarks like,
First thing he did after breaking out was to open up all the other wings of the mental ward. This would allow Lucius to freely roam around, wreaking havoc.
Immediately after he opened all the wings of the mental ward up so he can freely roam around wreaking havoc. It just feels a little unnecessary. Art style and story aside, the game just doesn't feel finished. The camera is jerky, the enemy AI is stupid in such a way that you can just run right past them, getting grabbed and taken away looks really foolish, and some of the voice acting is weirdly muffled.
Women. Can't live with them, can't kill them.
Honestly, the only improvement from this to Lucius 1 is they changed Lucius to look less like a mole rat and more like a human. It feels like the developers rushed the development process, released an untested game, and are hoping the first buyers will be the guinea pigs. The game was released recently, so if you're watching this and the developers have fixed some of the bugs, the game could be worth it. Right now, it's not worth the price. Lucius 2, The Prophecy, is available on PC for $22 Canadian.
Welcome to the bizarre world of Jazzpunk. Filled with spies, sabotage, and robots, Jazzpunk is a first-person adventure game developed by Necrophone Games, a local two-man development team from Toronto. You play as Polybank, our silent protagonist who is mailed to an espionage service in a Japanese subway during the 1950s. This is where you take missions from an alcoholic boss and pop pills to begin each level. The game is objective-based. You're given specific tasks in order to finish a mission, with many side missions and mini-games along the way. In one mission, you're tasked with the retrieval of an artificial kidney from a wealthy businessman. You then proceed to follow your target into a sushi restaurant, remember, no shoes allowed, where you distract the chef, poison your target, and make your escape with your loot. If you haven't noticed yet, this game is strange. It is filled with nonsensical gags and odd, outdated pop culture references. And it's awesome. The controls are simple and responsive. Move with the joystick or mouse, and interact with a button press or mouse click. The game has a minimalistic art style with characters that resemble board game pieces, and music that jumps between ambient level sounds and strange offbeat rhythms. The game's major shortfall is its length. You can breeze through the main game in just over an hour, with mini-games and side missions increasing the game's length by maybe another hour. But the game is more about the gags than the gameplay, and has replay value just based off the quality of goofs. It's like watching Ghostbusters. No matter how old the movie gets, the laughs are still there. Jazzpunk is available for $15 on PC, Mac, and Linux.
Christiana Machado went to a vintage clothing store on James Street North. Let's take a look at La Bichette.
La Bichette is one of the many unique stores you can find along James Street North. I sat down with Lauren Erickson, who told us a little bit about the shop.
So La Bichette was the granddaughter of something called Pieces Vintage. I originally started in vintage retail, and I actually had a pop-up shop at Supercrawl in 2012 where I sold only vintage. And it went so well that I had some people start kind of talking to me about considering doing it full-time, and I fell in love with James Street when I first moved to Hamilton. And what I noticed in the market on James, there was a big gap in contemporary retail. You know, when I first opened, I had contemporary and vintage, but the vintage kind of died out because there were already so many people doing a great job of it, and not a lot of other people doing contemporary. So I ended up fleshing out the contemporary side so that it's basically the full scope of the shop, and that's kind of La Bichette came from that. We kind of consider ourselves, we call it a lifestyle shop. And the idea behind that is that you're never, when you come in, even if you're not looking for clothes or, you know, say you just bought a sweater and you're like, oh, I'm not really in the market, you still have other things that you can see and that you could pick up and grab and love. So you have prints that you can put up in your office, you have a handbag, you've got wallets, you've got, teas and chocolates and body and beauty. So we have nail polish and we have body scrubs, and it's kind of just making sure that when you come in here that you just can't leave without seeing something that you are just obsessed with. And I love picking something that I think is really going to make someone happy, and they come in and they freak out over it. I'm like, nailed it. It's my favorite part, watching someone freak out over something I brought in.
So next time you're strolling down James Street North, don't forget to check out La Bichette. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Christiana Machado.
Hamiltonians gather together for the Things Made Here event.
We are celebrating the opening of this exhibition, which is all about the collection of objects owned by Glenn Fowman, and he collects everything that's made in Hamilton. So he's striving to collect every single thing, which is a number approaching 1,000, but we have a dozen here on display today. I know all different kinds of art collectors, and I think the most many of the interesting ones are driven by a passion for a specific thing or specific artist's work. And Glenn, this is the main thing that he collects, and he's been doing it for over 10 years just because of a pride for what's been made in the city.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe they learn something about some of the companies that they might not have heard of before, and just try and get Hamiltonians to toot their own horn, maybe raise some awareness, and hopefully we get a City of Hamilton museum one day.
Glenn plans on expanding his collection. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Han Vo.
Mohawk's men's basketball team came up short in their game against Humber. Reporter Sean Marinka was there.
Mohawk's men's basketball team came up just short in the battle for first place in the West Division this past weekend, falling to Humber 96-89. It was the Mountaineers' second loss to the Hawks this season, dropping their first meeting during the season opener 97-77. Humber started off the game in control, playing solid defense and making the Mountaineers force up some questionable shots. Mohawk finished the first half down 46-42 and shooting 39% from the field. It was only thanks to a 23-point first half effort from Matt Fennell that the Mountaineers were able to stay within 4. Fennell finished the game with 29 points and 10 rebounds. In the second half, Mohawk was able to battle back and take the lead for a little while, thanks to solid efforts from Matt Savell and Andrew Cicatini. Savell had 20 points while adding 5 assists, and Cicatini added 21 points and grabbed 10 rebounds. In a back-and-forth affair where the lead changed hands 16 times, it felt like whoever went on the last hot streak would come out on top. Every time Humber went on a run, Mohawk was able to answer, until the last one. The Hawks finished the game on a strong note, while the Mountaineers weren't able to hit any of their crucial shots, eventually forcing the home team to start fouling. Humber connected on enough of the game's last foul shots to keep them safely ahead of Mohawk and ultimately pull out the win.
Well, I mean, it was just one of those, it was a hard-fought battle. I mean, you down the stretch, I guess we're going back and forth a little bit there, and you just got to find a way to execute and get stops when you need stops.
Their loss in the last regular season game puts Mohawk in second place in the West Division with a record of 15-3. As second place, the Mountaineers will receive a first-round bye entering the provincial championships. The squad will take on the winner of Niagara and Seneca in their first game of the tournament. The OCAA Provincial Championships will take place at Durham College this year from March 6th to 8th. The winner of the tournament will advance to Nationals, which will take place at Mohawk's new David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Sean Maranka.
Hello, my name is Andrew Cicatini and I'm from Dundas, Ontario. I play forward for the Mohawk Mountaineers. I guess I started playing basketball in grade 7 and then I really enjoyed it, was okay at it, and just kept with it all throughout high school, and then, I don't know, 10 years later, here I am. I have always played forward, yeah. Always being the taller person in my classes, taller all throughout high school. That's kind of where they stuck me, and then it fit well, so again, here I am playing the same position. One piece of advice I would give to aspiring athletes would be that you really have to love what you do. Basketball being my favorite sport, I've never had a problem using up all my free time on weekends, nights, and the rest of that.
Hello, my name is Jeff. I'm from Dundas, Ontario, and I play forward for the Mohawk Mountaineers. My journey to the championship, I started playing basketball when I was about 5 years old in a rec league in Dundas, and I played all through elementary school, middle school, high school, and now here at college. For most of my career, I started in my current position was at guard, and now I'm at forward. The piece of advice I would give to aspiring athletes is to work hard and just stay focused on what you really want, and you can achieve it. My name is Jeff, and this is my road to the championship. Watch the Mountaineers make Mohawk history this March at the David Braley Athletics Recreation Center.
The playoff race is on for the Hamilton Bulldogs. 2015 has seen a great deal of success for the club, success that forward Daniel Carr says is from focusing on only one game at a time.
Our ultimate goal is to kind of be in that top 8 and maybe higher, but I think the way we get there is we just take it one game at a time. We don't focus on that. We focus on what we have to do to get 2 points that night. I think we just got to keep doing that going forward the last 25 games here.
The Dogs have been on the cusp of that top 8 spot, which is the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Forward Sven Andrighetto, one of Hamilton's hot hands as of late, recognizes the race for the postseason is a close one.
If you look at the standing, it's really tight from 4th place till up to 9, 10, and 11. They're really close, and it's a tight race there.
Andrighetto had a 12-game stint with the Montreal Canadiens earlier this season. He recorded 3 points up with the big club, including his first career NHL goal. Now, back with the Dogs, he says he will take this opportunity to refine his game.
Just trying to improve everything of my game. I mean, defensive zone, offensive, get some confidence in my game, and work with the coaches here to be the best I can be. I mean, it was really good to be up there to see what I have to improve on, and I want to go back there as fast as I can.
In just their first 2 games together, the young line of Daniel Carr, Charles Hudon, and Sven Andrighetto recorded 10 combined points.
Well, they brought energy, enthusiasm. I don't know if it's the young legs, but they played with speed, and they've done good things. Not only on the offensive side of the puck, but also defensively.
Hamilton is looking to make their first playoff appearance since 2011. Their next home game here at First Ontario Centre is on February the 27th against the Charlotte Checkers. Reporting for Ignite Sports, I'm Christina Costable.
And that's all we have for this week's edition of Ignite News. I'm Kayla Perna. Thanks for watching.